The invitation to aby bylo, jasno was accepted by a prominent Finnish politician, former Minister of the Interior and former Chairman of the Finnish Christian Democrats, currently a member of the Finnish Parliament, Dr. Päivi Räsänen. Thank you for attending, Madam Räsänen.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. Yeah. Madam Räsänen, your name is not completely unknown in Czech Republic. Number of Czech citizens follow the information about how you stood before the court some time ago. The Attorney General brought a total of 3 separate charges against you. For a tweet you wrote in 2019, and in this tweet you shared a passage from the Bible. For the publication of the pamphlet, He created them as a man and woman, which you wrote in 2004. And also for the radio interview, What Would Jesus Think of Homosexuals? For these 3 reasons, you were accused of ethnic agitation against the group. The court acquitted you, but the public prosecutor appealed, and you will appear before the court again in August. How do you perceive this situation? It is an attack on freedom of speech, or an attack on the Christian faith, or on both?
Yes, it is a very good question, and I think that the both are the answers, because at the beginning, when it started 4 years ago, it was mainly about my criticism against the main Finnish Lutheran Church, which was supporting the Pride event against its own basis on the Bible. And this was a shock to me that my church decided to do this public support to the Pride event, and that's why I questioned this and targeted my criticism against the leadership of my church. So this is about Christian faith, and I believe that also the reaction, these criminal complaints, and the prosecutor general's decision to file up these accusations against me, it is about the breaking of the worldview, the Christian worldview in the Finnish society, so that the citizens do not anymore understand the core message of the Bible. But then, of course, this is also about freedom of speech, freedom of to express one's convictions. And that is what I'm worried about, because then it is not narrowing only these important constitutional freedoms of Christians, also of others, because it can threaten anyone's freedom to speak and to express yourself, your opinions, and your deep beliefs and convictions.
Do colleagues in Parliament, the media, and ordinary citizens react to your prosecution? Do they show you some support, or does it leave them indifferent?
I think that the situation has been very divided in our society. So there are a lot of people in our society, or also in our church and in other churches, who have very strongly supported me. So I have got thousands and thousands of letters from Finland and from abroad where people have supported me. Also in Parliament there have been very well-known parliamentarians who have supported me from different parties. Also some gay people who have supported my freedom to express my opinions. But of course there has been also opposition and very, very strong criticism against me. So the discussion is going on, and I would say that our society is divided.
You have been in Finnish politics for almost 30 years. When you look back, how long do you think the Finnish company faces cancel culture? Because I think it's a question of cancel culture.
Yes, you are right. I have been 28 years in Parliament, and I would say that 20 years ago I couldn't have imagined the situation what is now going on. So all this process was a surprise to me. I have to say that it felt very absurd when 4 years ago I was at the police station sitting there and interrogated about the Bible. I had the Bible on the table and the police was asking me questions about the Bible, that what is the meaning of the book to Romans, what is the meaning of its first chapter, what do you mean by the concept of sin, and that kind of theological issues. And the cancel culture, which is trying to hinder you to express your views about certain painful issues in our society. It is quite a new phenomenon. I noticed it about 7 years ago in our society. In fact, 7 years ago, there was an event, a Christian event, where I had promised to speak about marriage. Only 10 minutes lecture about marriage, and it was to be organized, arranged in one church. But about 1 week before the event, I was informed that the church council doesn't allow me to come to that church to speak about marriage because it would endanger the safety of the church. And at first I didn't understand this kind of argument because just some months ago I had been a minister of interior who was responsible for the safety of Finland. But then I understood this concept. It is from this concept of cancel culture. It is mainly from these networks of these sexual minorities, and they try to. I would say it is not about safety. It is not about security. It is about narrowing the freedom of speech so that they do not let those who have different opinions to come to the same space.
And tell me please, what do you think about the roots of the cancel culture?
It is born, this cancel culture, in post-Christian Western society, where the strong networks of LGBT communities and advocates have created that concept. And it has a very beautiful name. They are defending safety of these rooms of, for example, churches and rooms for yachts and for universities and schools. But the main purpose is to cancel those people who have different opinions to speak or to express their views in the same spaces. So I think that it is a very dangerous phenomenon, and it is very important to speak about that, the cancel culture, because for example, in Finland we have had cases where some people have even lost their jobs because of this pressure, because they use it in social media very strongly and want to label some people as negative and hostile.
Are people in Finland afraid to talk?
Yes, I'm afraid that some people are. And also, this my case, it has been very much in public, and it has lasted already 4 years. There have been several long police interrogations, altogether 13 hours. There have been trials in court twice. And all this, even though without any legal punishment, it has been some kind of warning to other people. What can happen to you if you speak freely, if you express your views against for example, the LGBT ideas, for example, promoting transgender issues or transgender politics or same-sex marriages and that kind of political issues. And now I know that many young Christians, for example, have told me that they are afraid to express themselves for this culture, cancel culture. But then there have been also some other people who have been more eager to express themselves and to speak about their Christian view, because now people have understood that now it is the time to use these freedoms. If we do not use now our freedom to express ourselves, then the space becomes all the time narrower to use them. So that's why it is so important now to speak.
You will face another trial in August. How do you think it will turn out?
I'm confident that I would win. In the case, of course, I have to be humble because anything can happen. But I'm very happy that last year, when the Helsinki District Court gave its verdict, it was very clear acquittal, and it was unanimous from 3 judges. And they said that no crime has happened, and I have not spoken any hate speech. What I have spoken, it is about classical Christianity. It is what the churches have been teaching for hundreds of years about marriage and gender, that we are man and woman, and the marriage is between one man and one woman. So I trust that we have these important freedoms in our constitution, and also in the international conventions of freedom of speech and religion. So I have calm mind, and I also trust that the whole process is in God's hands.
You yourself are a practicing Christian. Your husband is a pastor. Does contemporary society perceive the Christian faith as a part of itself, or does it try to push it to the side somewhere?
Yes, I would say that we are now living in a time when the society is coming more and more hostile against Christian worldview and Christian faith. And And we see also in research in the Finnish society that even though still the majority of Finnish people, they belong to churches, but only a very small minority of Finnish people believe in the basic Christian doctrines. For example, that Jesus is the Son of God, and he has risen from death, and so on. So I think that we are now living in a time when the society is very divided. But of course, we have our constitution about freedom of religion, and I have very much encouraged Christians that now it is time to use these freedoms. It is time to speak openly about your faith and to testify about Jesus to other people, and also to teach the Bible, because it is still legal. It is still legal to do all this, so we have to use now these rights.
Madam Räsänen, we will take advantage of the fact that you are a long-term experienced politician. How do you perceive the current European Union? I ask because only 46% citizens in the Czech Republic perceive it positively, and its support is decreasing. So how is it in Finland?
Yes, in Finland, I think that we have quite high support numbers to European Union, but it is mainly because of that we feel that we need safety and security. We are we have the neighbors, big Russian, and the reason why the Finnish people decided to join EU was mainly because of safety and security. And also nowadays, I think that we need that. But of course, we have a lot of criticism also in Finnish society against some rules and some proposals in European Union. And I would like to speak and especially Finnish Christian people have been worried about the hate speech laws that are proposed in European Union, and the European Commission's initiative to extend the list of EU crimes to hate speech. Luckily, it has been blocked in the Council, but the file has not been struck down and remains dormant in the dossier of the country negotiations. So I hope that each European state stays strong in these issues, defends the freedom of speech, and prevents this proposal moving forward. Because if we had a European Union-wide hate speech law, it would be really a threat towards also to Christianity, and to lead, I would say, to lead even to persecutions of Christians in European Union.
And my last question, Finland became a member of the NATO this year. It applied for membership as a result of Russia's invasion to Ukraine. How do Finnish citizens perceive the country's entry into NATO?
Yes, in Finland we have had very high support to NATO membership, and the climate changed when Russian attacked Ukraine. Before it, the numbers of support were quite low, but after that they increased, and now Finnish people are very confident with being member of NATO. And we think that we need it, and because we have seen what happened in Ukraine, and of course we have all our own experiences of war when Soviet attacked Finland decades ago, And that's why in each Finnish family we have members who have been in war against Russia, and that's why I think that's why we have very high numbers. Also in our parliament, it was almost unanimous the decision to join NATO.
Madam Räsänen, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be with you and to discuss with you.
Thank you very much.